All right, so lesson two is about landscape design. We'll talk about the different parts of landscaping and all that comes into detail. So, landscaping components are divided in two parts: hardscaping and softscaping. And there's a really pretty example of some landscaping there in a yard. So, landscaping includes more than just grass and plants. Hardscaping, which are landscaping construction features. So that could be like if you're looking at this picture, we're looking at this outdoor fireplace and pergola and maybe even the fence, we could say. It's going to be anything basically that's not a plant that you use within the landscape. So, like gazebos, porches, decks, lighting, paths, terraces, retaining walls, they're all examples of hardscaping. It could be a small pond, like a fish pond, or a garden, a fountain. You've probably seen some of these at a park or a business or maybe even a home. So, because of this, a landscaper not only needs to know things about plants, but they need to know basic construction things as well because they're going to probably have to build them. It's installed and constructed and can be minimal or really complex. So, like if you put brick around a flower bed, the edging to keep the soil and mulch in, that's hardscaping. And it's pretty simple. You know, a large man made water fountain is going to take serious effort. So, just like landscaping, it can be small or elaborate. And softscaping, so remember, hardscaping is everything that's not alive, basically. And softscaping are alive plants. So that's using the plant materials. And these could be trees, annual plants. Remember, those are plants like flowers or a lot of annuals where they just bloom once and they're done. Perennials, it could be the grass itself, turf, ground cover, covering, any sort of plant. So make sure you know those things. Decorative components, they're not really either. So that could be like furniture, cushions, porch swings, container. That's just decoration. So right there, we've got some retaining walls holding in that mulch and water and see how it's leveled and terraced. So that's a mix of hardscaping with that stone. And then you've got your softscaping or all those plants. So it's most of the time it's going to be a blend of both. So the principles of landscape design include elements of unity, scale, balance, simplicity, variety, emphasis, and sequence, such as line, form, texture, and color. So these words, if you've ever taken an art class, you've seen these words, right? So landscape design is definitely an art. It's an art form. You have to be able to visualize and see and go with aesthetics and what's pleasing to the eye. So there are some art definitions here, such as line. How do we use line in landscape design? We use it to guide the eye. So just like in this picture up here, you see the lines, right? And the curves that helps guide the eye, makes it appealing. Form, that's the three-dimensional. Paintings of different form. Texture, you want to apply different textures. You may have shiny, waxy leaves or fuzzy and soft leaves or plants. And then we've got the elements design impacted by the following principles. So we have unity, that's the quality of oneness. Space should be connected. Scale, relatively size, proportion, right? You don't want something really large in a really small space. Balance, everything to be balanced. It can be symmetrical, asymmetrical. Simplicity is represented by repetition of elements. So variety is differences between elements in the design. So you don't want everything to be the same. You want some change there. Emphasis, that's where you draw the eye. Maybe you're going to have a pop of color. And sequence is a change of flow that creates movement, interest, or life. So we've got two examples. And you can just figure out which garden you would prefer. So the first one is an English country-style garden. It's casual, even a bit messy and exuberant. Planting beds contain a variety of wildflowers, and there's a pretty winding path to the front door. This garden, though casual and relaxed, shows an understanding of the principles of design. Second home has relatively formal paintings of shrubs near the house, a large area of wildflowers, and an Asian-style water feature. You're not sure where to look. It's even hard to find the front door. This garden is jumbled and less appealing to the viewer. It's not only varied in design styles, but also actively confusing with little understanding. So, home one is what most people would prefer, right? You don't want to be overwhelmed. Subtle changes, simple is better. The second version, they've got, Asian style, wildflower style, formal style, all of that kind of going together, and it just doesn't blend. So, that's why if you're going to pursue a career in landscape design, you need to understand art as well.